Okay, so this is the training for the learning management system. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to interrupt. I'll cover things relatively quickly. We have a good bit to cover in an hour, and we could finish beforehand, but yeah, this is just an introduction to the learning management system. So if there's anything that you need help with in the future, you will have different resources, including myself, to help you out. So, so what we're looking at here is the login page for the learning management system. And there are two login pages, and I'll open up this other login page. This is the administrator login page. So if you have admin rights, you can log in on this page and it'll take you directly to the admin part of the learning management system. And the learner side, this is the learner login. So if you log in with this page, it'll take you to the learner side of the learning management system. And there is a forgot password option. So if you click forgot password, or any user clicks forgot password, they can enter their username and or email address and click reset password, and it will send their password information to their email. And the same for the admin login. The username and email address is going to be the same. So if I log in, we'll be taken to the welcome page of the learning management system. And currently there is no training that's been assigned. If there's, or that's available to self-enroll into. That's one thing that I can enable in the system if you want your users to be able to enroll themselves into training. Right now it's set up where an admin would have to enroll users into training. Do you want users to be able to self-enroll into training?
I thought we were going to enroll them in all the classes for the most part. Yeah, we were probably planning on each guy doing every one of the classes.
Okay. So just make it everything available.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what.
I want to enroll them, that way each week is something different. They can't go ahead and redo stuff. What do you want to do?
You want me to enroll them every week?
Okay, just let them enroll, that's fine.
They'll be available.
They can enroll themselves.
Okay. I'll enable self-enrollments for the system, and those will be activated in the morning. So right now, what we have is so the basic layout. The right side is going to be the drop-down menu, and you'll be able to view my courses, catalog, resources. Resources would be any document that is sent out to the users that isn't a course. Calendar is going to be going to show any courses that have expiration dates or due dates. It's also going to show any instructor-led training that you have set up in the system. You might not use that, but if you are using due dates, the user would be able to see what due dates are associated with training on their calendar. Transcripts going to show the user what training is in their transcript, what they have completed, and what's been assigned. My courses will show courses once a user has completed a course, and I'll circle back towards the end of the call once we assign some training to myself, so you'll be able to see what that looks like. So going back to the main page, once a user has training that has been assigned, they will show up as icons, and this row of icons will move down. For a user to edit their profile, there's a couple of different options. They can click the profile icon in the top right, and this will allow them to change their password. And if they click edit profile, it'll have a little pop-up, and there's certain information that they can fill in, such as middle name, phone number. If they want to fill in their address, they can. They can't change their password. And so are there any questions about the learner side of the learning management system?
No, we're good.
Okay. Okay, so to get to the admin side of the learning management system, on the right menu, there's an admin link. And if you do have admin rights, you will see the admin link. And this will take you to, like I said, the admin side of the learning management system. You can also log in from this page, and it will take you to the admin side as well. So at first glance, what we have are some information dashboards. We have an overview dashboard, a learner's dashboard, and a courses dashboard. And the overview is going to show your activity, any reports that you have saved, any messages that you have in the system. The learner dashboard is going to show your learners in the system. Right now, you don't have any learners that are completing training, so this information isn't filled in. But once you have users that are completing training, it'll these dashboard boxes will populate. The same with courses as well. So these are standard. We're unable to customize the dashboard widgets. So what you see is what you get. So on the left are the main areas will be administering training. So first we have courses, and this will allow us to edit the courses in the system. Users, this is going to allow us to edit users in the system. And then we have reports. And if you notice, all of the layouts for the pages are very similar. So you have the content and the main body of the page, and you have certain things that you can do, such as you can save the layout, you can share the report with users, you can schedule the report, print out the report, and also export the report. So like I said, this is a report layout, and if we go to the courses page, this is the same type of layout, it's just specific to courses. And if we go to users, same deal. This is still a report layout, and it's specific to users. And if we go to any of the other reports, it's the same layout, just displaying different information. So what I want to look at first are courses, and this is going to have all of the courses that you have in the system. You have 565 courses in the system, and so this is the entire library, and it's individual courses. And this is being displayed at 50 items per page. If I wanted to view all of the courses on one page, then I could change the way this is displaying the courses. Then it will display all the courses. I can add items, or I can add columns to this report by selecting this drop-down. So you can customize your layout for this page to something that you like. So anytime you add a column, it's going to add that information. You'll have to save the report. And if you save the report, then anytime you come to that page, that report will be available. If you want that report to show as a default, then all you have to do is click the star next to the report. Then anytime you come to that page, it'll show that report. And looking at some of the edit features, if you select a course, it gives you things that you can do. You can edit the course, you can enroll users, duplicate, you can see who's enrolled into the course, give you an activity report, and I have an option to delete. So you wouldn't want to delete or duplicate the course. You probably wouldn't have to edit the course. If there's any other type of training, such as a curriculum that you build, then you can probably edit that. But I wouldn't recommend editing any of these settings. If you do want to edit any of the settings on online training, please let me know, and it's probably something that I can do on the back end and update all of the training at once. So if I click edit, it's going to take me into the edit feature for the courses, and the first tab is the general tab, and I have information such as a title, the description, the category, and thumbnails, and also tags. And the syllabus is where the training content is for the course. So if anything was deleted from this page, the course would not work. Availability is going to define who can self-enroll into this course. And so it looks like all of your users should be able to self-enroll for this individual course. Completion, we do allow re-enrollment into the course, so there is no time that a user has to wait before they can re-enroll themselves into a course. That way, if they receive a lower score, but they pass the course, they can re-enroll and try to get a higher score. Messages are turned off for the courses.
So,
yes.
I have a question on that. If they re-enroll and take the class again or the course again, will their previous time still show, or will it override that and only show what they completed?
It'll keep record of it'll keep record of their completions.
Okay, so if person 1 does 2 courses, the first course gets a 70, second time gets a 90, we'll know both times?
Yes, there's a way you can go into the system to view that information.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
So messages are turned off. That way, if you build a curriculum with, let's say, 10 courses in it, and you assign that training to the user, they will not receive 10 emails for each one of those training items. If you set up a curriculum, you might want to set up email notifications if you want your users to receive emails whenever that training is assigned or whenever they enroll themselves into that training. Resources would be any type of attachment you wanted to associate with the course. So if, for example, you had a new employee curriculum that you had built, you could, as a resource, you could add something like the new employee manual. Uploads, probably wouldn't use uploads. I don't have any clients that use uploads, but if you had something where you wanted a user to have to upload, let's say, a copy of their ID, then this is where you would set that up. And more is just additional information that can be turned on for courses, such as terms and conditions. If you want a user to agree to certain terms before they can complete the course, this is how you would turn that on. Comments, mobile device alert. These are the system defaults that we have. So it's up to you if you wanted to turn these on for other training, but it's not something that's required. So I want to talk about a couple of the learning objects that you can build in the system. The first one Are you going to be covering any instructor-led course where people will go to a room and receive training from an instructor?
No, not at this time.
Okay. If you decide to do that in the future, it is available, and I can help you with that. First thing I want to look at is course bundle, and this is just creating a bundle of courses to assign to a user. There's not really a lot that we can do with that bundle, but this is just basically creating a grouping of courses. And first thing we would do is create a title, so we'll call this Safety Bundle. In the category, you always want to select Gypsum or National Gypsum. Thumbnails is not required. Tags aren't required. Pretty much all that's required is the category and the title. And then we can select our courses. If I click Add Courses, there are lots of different categories that are going to show up. So for your training, it's going to be under National Gypsum. And you wouldn't be able to open any of the other categories. You're only going to see courses that are under your own category. So you select the courses you want to add, and you can select as many courses as you want. And I'll click Continue. It'll add those courses to your selection. If you want to add more courses, just click Add Courses, and then the same dialog will open. You can also type in keywords.
Yeah, are those actually the courses that we have available?
Yes, they are. It's going to be all the 500, I think there are over 560 courses. So one thing I do want to point out whenever you are selecting courses, anytime you're selecting courses, you do not want to select the checkbox here. If you select the checkbox, it's going to force the system to select all 500 plus courses. And it'll take a bit, and sometimes the system will freeze up. It's best just to select individual courses, and if you click this arrow, it'll open the drop-down menu, and then you can select the individual courses that you want to add. So if I set the availability or allow self-enrollment, this is going to determine whether or not users can self-enroll into the training. And we'll select Department, National Gypsum. If we want users to automatically be enrolled into this training, then we would select Enable Automatic Enrollment. And this is showing that there are 14 users, and this is showing 14 users as well. You can add an expiration for this group of courses or the bundle of courses. If you have other departments, if you have sub-departments that are set up and you wanted to organize your users into those sub-departments, you could make this training only visible to that sub-department for administration. But you would have to have an administrator set up for that sub-department. Right now, everyone is set up on the same level. And for department,
we only have one administrator, right?
I'd have to check. Everyone should be administrators. If you're on this call, you should be an administrator. So this is, the email is turned on for this. I'm going to turn the email off. And so if I save this, it's going to save this course bundle that I've created. And so anytime I assign this to a user, they'll receive all of these courses. So I'm not going to save this. I'm going to go over to the user page and see which users are administrators. So there's a column that is admin. And if we select yes, this is a filter. These little filter items, you can apply filters, and it will, I'm going to add a filter for is admin yes. And these are the administrators. So Nick and Bobby, looks like you need to be added as administrators if you're going to be administering the LMS. Is that a true statement?
I'm going to put him as Brent. Brent doesn't need to be here.
We could take Brent off, actually.
Can we just make, instead of Brent being an administrator, make Bobby an administrator?
Sure.
So I guess we can do that, okay.
I'm going to edit his information, Bobby's information. So if I click edit, it's going to show the information that you can edit. Right now, we just have the minimum information. We have first name, last name, email address. If I wanted to change the password, this is where I would change his password. And that is a temporary password. So we can set him as an administrator, and we do have to select the department, and automatically National Jimson's going to show up. Then we have to select the role and department administrator. So looking at the user page while we're here, again, we do have options that we can add to show up. We can show date added if we wanted to see when the user was added. If we want to see how many times the user has logged in, we can click logins. And again, we can save this. I'll create a new report. And if I want this report to always be my default, then I click the star. Now, anytime I come to this page, this is going to be my user report. So a couple of things that we can do. If we select one user, we can view that user's transcript. We can enroll the user into training. We can edit the user. If I want to enroll user into training, then I select enroll user, and I just choose the courses that I want to enroll the user into. I can also select more than one user to enroll into training. So if I want to enroll all of these users into training, I select enroll users. Then all these users are going to receive whatever courses I assign. I can reset the password. If I click reset password with all these users, it's going to send the reset password email. We can also send a new user email as well, which will send the user their login information. For individual users, like I said, we can view a user's transcript. Right now, this user doesn't have any training assigned, so it's not going to have any information. But if I want to, I'm going to assign some training to myself. Click enroll user. And I'm going to enroll these 5 courses. Click enroll. Now if I want to see training that user's been enrolled into, then I click View Enrollments, and it'll show the status of the training. And right now it's not started. So if I go back to the learner side, I should have these 5 courses assigned. And the catalog showing up now as well. Before the call, I had added myself just right before the call, so I think these weren't showing up. But any users that log into the system, they should be able to see this training, and they should be able to self-enroll into the training. If they click on, if they click on catalog, all the courses will show up, and they can search for certain titles here as well. So my courses is going to be courses that have been assigned to the user. So if you want the user to focus on certain courses, I would assign the courses to the user. The most recently assigned user or courses are going to appear first. So if I click Start again, it will open the training. I'm going to close this. And you'll see the status has changed to resume. So there's a few different statuses. Enroll means the user hasn't been enrolled into the training. But if they click enroll, it will enroll themselves, and then they'll be able to start the training. Start the training means they have not started the training, but it is available for them to start. And once they start the training, it will show an in progress status, which will give them a resume button. And once they complete the training, it will change to complete or re-enroll. So if I go back to the admin side, and my layout, my save layout that I created is right here under my save report. So I'm going to click on that. It'll take me to the user page, and I'll click on my name and view my enrollments. And you'll see that training has now changed to in progress. So if I want to edit a user's enrollment, I select the user, and then I select view enrollments. And then I can edit the enrollment, and I can see what, if I want to mark the user complete, give them a score of 100. And this is where I would be able to do that. Also, there's a question about the completions. If a user has completed the training more than once, this is where it's going to show. It's going to be at the bottom under lesson activity. So if a user takes the course 10 times, there's going to be 10 items under here with individual scores. So now if I view the user's transcript, it's showing that they are complete. So any questions about managing users? Do you want to go back to the courses page?
Say 100%.
Okay, for capacity.
So if I want to enroll several courses for several users, I can select my users or all of my courses that I want to enroll, and then click Enroll Users, and then I can select the users that I want to enroll, and then click Enroll. So there's 2 ways to enroll users into training. We can enroll users from the course side, where we select the courses and then we enroll users, or we can select from the user side, where we select the users and then click Enroll Users to select the courses. So I want to show you how to build a curriculum. Curriculum, I think you'll get a lot of use out of a curriculum. You can build training programs, and this is how you would build the training program and assign to your users. So if we select curriculum in the drop-down, we'll select the title. I'm going to call this Tool Safety. Select my category. And I'll select courses, then I'll build my training program or my curriculum. And you can have this as different sections, and there's a lot that's available here that isn't available in the course bundle. If you just want to bundle up some courses and assign them to a user, then by all means use course bundle. But if you want more organization and more control over the training program, then you need to use a curriculum. So these we have 3 groups set up, and we can add more groups and we can delete groups. And now we're down to 2 groups. I'm going to call this first group Safety or Basic Safety. And the second group I'm going to call Tool Safety. And I'll add some courses to my first group. Search by keyword and just pull some safety courses. And then I'm going to add some tool courses. And so this training program has two sections. The first section is Basic Safety, and the second section is Tool Safety. Now I can force progress within this curriculum. If I click Paste Progress, then the user has to finish these courses before they can access these courses. And we can also define a minimum number of courses. So I can say a user has to complete 4 of these courses before they can access these courses. The Paste Progress is only going to affect courses within the curriculum. So what I mean by that is if a user is logged into the curriculum, they can't access, for example, 20102 inside the curriculum until they finish 4 of these courses. But if a user goes to the learner side and they click the search field at the top and they search for 20102, that course is going to come up as an individual course that they can take. Availability, we've covered this briefly before. Allow self-enrollment's going to define who can enroll themselves into this training. Automatic enrollment's going to define who will automatically be enrolled into the training. And self-enrollment's just going to have this training appear in the catalog. It's not going to actually assign it to the users. You do not have to set any of this information in terms of allow self-enrollment or automatic enrollment. If you're going to enroll this or assign it to users yourself, it is going to appear on your list of courses. You just want to make sure whenever you select department availability at the bottom that you have this selected. We can have a due date, and we can say that this is due, let's say, 1 month after enrollment. In completion, this is going to allow a user to re-enroll into this training. A post-enrollment is something that, let's say after a user completes this curriculum, if you want them to automatically be assigned a new curriculum that you have created, let's say a Tool Safety Level 2 curriculum, then you can add this And once they complete this curriculum, they'll automatically be assigned the second curriculum. We do have the ability to activate certificates for the training. And if I click learners receive a certificate upon completion, then we'll have to select a certificate. We click choose file. And in the certificates folder, there's going to be 6 certificates. And so you have to determine what type of training you're going to have. So if it's a one-time training where there's no expiration and no score, then you would select that certificate. If it's an individual course and there is a score associated with it and no expiration, then you would want to select the one that says with score. I'm going to select this file, and I'll preview the certificate, and it'll show you what the certificate will look like. So this is a one-time certificate. It does not have an expiration. If I do want an expiration, we'll say this is going to expire 1 year after they complete it. And then I would have to change this template to something that does have an expiration. So I'll do with expiry and no score. There's no scores associated with the curriculum, so if this is for a curriculum, you would always want to choose no score. And allow re-enrollment. I'm going to change this to before certificate expires, or 1 month before the certificate expires, a user will automatically be re-enrolled into this training. Any questions?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Messages, I would recommend leaving messages turned on for anything that has a certification associated with it. That way the user will receive their enrollment emails and their completion emails. A nudge email is, yes.
Yeah. Where can you change the minimum score for passing?
The minimum score for passing is something that's managed on a server level, so only we would be able to change that. And it would be system-wide. So right now your courses are set to 70%. Do you want it to be another score?
Yeah, we were thinking more like a 90%.
90?
That's kind of what we had in mind, I think. Is that right? Well, here, 100%.
90, that's pretty high. 90 is pretty high.
I guess
Doing 80.
80.
You do 80?
Yes, we can change it to 80.
Let's do 80.
Okay. All right. I will update that as well. So I'll update all the scores to 80%. So so nudge emails are going to send reminders, reminder emails reminding the users that they have training in the system that hasn't been completed. And this will send every 7 days. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to filter that course title. And here's the curriculum I created. I'm going to enroll myself into that training. Click enroll. And if I go back to the learner side, there's the curriculum that I have. You'll see this is a due date that was 1 month from date assigned, so that due date is November 2nd. And you'll see that I cannot open these courses because I have a requirement where 4 of these courses must be completed first. If I go to my calendar, see I have that notification letting me know that I have one training that's due on that date. So going back to the admin side, I do want to touch on some of the reports. We'll look at the curriculum activity report. I'm going to pull up the curriculum that I created, which is tool safety, update filter. And here I have one user, myself, that is enrolled into this curriculum. If you had several users enrolled into the curriculum, then all the users would be listed. It would show their progress, and we can select other columns to add to this report. And same goes with other reports. Course activity, we'll have to select an individual course. I'm going to select 10101 and update that. And so it's showing one user that's complete. Learner activity. This is showing an overview of all of the training that's going on in the system based upon individual learners. So it looks like I'm the only one that's enrolled in the training. No one else is enrolled in the training. I've completed one course. And just like with any other report, I can add other columns to this report. And I can view these enrollments by clicking View Enrollment. I can also view transcript or user transcript, and it'll take me to that user's transcript. And to edit enrollments, I would click View Enrollments, and here I'd be able to edit the enrollments for the user. So we pretty much covered everything. I don't really have a lot to show in terms of reporting because you don't really have users in the system completing training. But I think this is certainly enough to get you started. Are there any questions?
Dusty, we got a question on the amount of courses that's available to us. Did I hear you say there's 500 on there?
Oh, there's about, let me go over to the courses page. There's 565. There's 566 because of the curriculum that I just created. So if
how many were we supposed to have? I was thinking we had enrolled for the, what was it, mechanical maintenance, or what was it called? That portion of those 500 courses.
Yeah, let me look.